Should you be pulling for Valentine Bourbon, the wheelchair ace, or Fine Motion, the evergreen whip card? For most players, the carat count should be enough for a pity, even if you pulled for Fugitaru or Kitasan Rerun, which is why we'll discuss the importance and options you have for these two banners in this video. Hello everyone, this is Charles of Victor Frontier. This video is going to be the final banner review until the first anniversary, and it's going to include the reviews for Valentine Banner, Admire Vega, Mejiro Ardan, and also Digitan Power Card, Fine Motion, and Kawakami Rerun. And most importantly, give you suggestions on whether or not to drop carats for Valentine Bourbon or Fine Motion Rerun, or even both. So without further ado, let's first talk about the characters in the Valentine Banner, Mihono Bourbon Valentine, and also Eishin Flash Valentine outfit. Valentine Bourbon is the last piece to the Three Musketeers and is arguably the strongest of the three. She's an overperformer in almost every aspect, whether it's in terms of character specs, easiness to build, ace performance, consistency, and also parent potential. Looking at her kit, you will find a very consistent 10% speed, stamina, and power bonus. Speed and power bonus is the two best bonuses that you can ever have on any character, and the 10% stamina bonus means that she's going to be able to perform on medium and long distances and easily hit the stat lines. She can run on any distance, and it's very easy to slot her into pretty much anywhere, whether it's a sprint race that has angling and scheming available, or a long race that requires a lot of stamina. Unlike her OG counterpart, which is a pain in the ass to play, which parent farmers will understand because you literally cannot win any races in the middle because of her non-existent unique and also really bad growth rates and weird target races. Valentine Bourbon actually has a very strong unique skill here, which on any middle leg corner, if there's somebody behind you, she will increase her speed and her stamina will recover. This is a very strong unique skill that is very consistent in contesting for first place in the first 40% of the race. As long as you're within top 4 and you are on a corner in the middle game, you will proc this unique skill as long as there's somebody behind you. And it will give you a 5-second 0.35 target speed as well as a 0.015, aka 1.5% recovery on the unique skill proc. When inherited, this unique skill also gives 0.15 target speed for 3 seconds as well as a very minuscule 0.35% recovery, which, if you didn't know, can be used as a KFC Marzinski unique trigger or a Christmas Ogre trigger. This is a valuable and consistent unique skill that you can use as a grandparent or even parent on frontrunners or even Christmas Ogre inherits. In MANT or Grand Live, if you're a frontrunner player, I highly recommend trying to get this Valentine Bourbon unique skill into your lineage or using Valentine Bourbon as a grandparent or parent because it's simply way too easy to farm groundwork and also a bunch of other skills, other relevant skills in her kit. Her innate skills, aside from extra tank, every other skill here is insanely strong and very, very useful for frontrunner players. Groundwork on Potential 4 is the most talked about point because you now don't need to farm for this groundwork skill. You can just slam Valentine Bourbon and just get the skill every single ace run, which makes her very comfortable in terms of making as an ace. However, she does have one weakness in the sense that Valentine Bourbon is going to find it difficult to get taking the lead because the two sources for taking the lead is going to be on Mihono Bourbon Free SSR or is going to be on Twin Turbo Speed SSR, which Twin Turbo Speed SSR is not a real card. I do not recommend anybody use it for MANT aces or whatever because it's just a very terrible gamble. Valentine Bourbon will have to live with 0.4 acceleration in the early game, and yeah, you kind of have to accept that 0.4 plus the unique skill is still going to be okay in terms of contesting for frontrunner. You don't need 0.6 every time, you kind of have to just accept it. She also has Escape Artist and Concentration on her pot 3 and pot 5. Escape Artist being one of the strongest 3-second 0.35 middle game skill that procs for frontrunners and is just a very strong skill for fronts. With frontrunner savvy, early lead, and concentration in her kit, she can activate groundwork by passing 2 wit checks. And if you have more green skills, you can just activate groundwork every single time. Just saying, having concentration on a frontrunner innately is still very valuable up until JP. Although you may think 280 cost is expensive, but this makes it so Valentine Bourbon is just more consistent, much more consistent than every other character, every other frontrunner over the course of 80 races. On fronts, if you're late start, you lose like 1 frame of acceleration, which is very significant. And with concentration, she'll be be performing very well throughout the 80 races. After winning the Derby in her normal career, not MANT career, she will be able to get Final Push, which is usable on certain tracks that have the late game starting on 4th corner. When winning the Kikesho, she gets straightaway acceleration, actually when she wins the Triple Crown. And this is also an event that only happens on non-make a new track scenario. On her 3rd year Valentine event, she will be able to get an option to get either Energy or Speed Eater event. Speed Eater is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, mile skills ever for foreigners because it's essentially a 0.3 disguised as a white skill. Because this is essentially a white skill disguised as a gold skill, this gives a 0.3, well, 3 seconds, 0.15 target speed plus a debuff on the opponent Umas. This is like a 0.3 effect for 3 seconds as a white skill. This skill is super strong. Whenever you are in a mile race and you're building Valentine Bourbon, you'll want to have this. This character power creeps pretty much every other frontrunner in the sprint, mile, and medium distance in like the first 2 years of Umamusume, really. And all the way until, say, something like Kira-san White is going to take over Valentine Bourbon, but her value is still very high up because she has concentration built into her kit and also that unique skill that is very valuable. On top of the fact that she's just a very consistent performer throughout a lot of the tracks in a lot of CMs if you are going to play frontrunner, and her low commitment, low investment nature, she makes for a very excellent pull if you have the resources for it. Alright Charles, you glaze Valentine Bourbon so much. What's the catch? There is no catch. If we were to look at every character in Umamusume, if you asked me to pick out one Uma that you are 100% going to pull, I would say it's Saiyan Sky, and then my second pick would be Valentine Bourbon. I think Valentine Bourbon is just way too comfortable and very, very high value as a pull. She has done a lot for me, both as a parent and as an ace throughout the entirety of the game, and I think that everybody should at least have one Valentine Bourbon. It's Chinese New Year, and if you're born Asian, you can just use your... With that being said, I would recommend anybody that still has some Uma Gacha tickets and also carats to drop into the Valentine Bourbon banner if you have 30k only, okay? If you can pity the banner, go for it definitely. And if you don't, since it's Chinese New Year, if you're born Asian, you can use your hongbao, you can use your money that you get from your red envelopes to mail for Valentine Bourbon. I think this Uma is just worth it. But Charles, what about Fine Motion? We're going to get into that in a second. Right now, we're going to quickly skim over the remaining few characters, these two, Admire Vega and Mejiro Ardan, and then we're going to go through the support cards. Oh, and also there's Eishin Flash to talk about, I guess. Hi, Eishin Flash Guide. This is a alt with Dominator in it. This is pretty much it. If you want a stronger kit, you go the OG Eishin Flash, not the new one. The new one is actually just weaker than the OG one. This unique skill is very difficult to proc. If you're an Eishin Flash Oshi in MANT, wish you luck because Mile F on Eishin Flash is unfortunate. Overall, this is just a skin or a reskin of Eishin Flash. If you dig the design, you can run her as your Dominator debuffer in medium races. That's pretty much what Eishin Flash is about. Unfortunately, this kit is just not good at all. You're better off running her OG version, which shows more of her personalities. Hi, Mejiro Ardan Guide. This character has a mechanic where she sacrifices her own stamina for a stronger target speed for 4 seconds, 0.45 when she is on the home stretch. This character stamina requirement is quite high, 0% stam bonus at 10% speed, 20% wit. Makes it very easy to push two of the more important stats, speed and wit. I would argue that this character, you can run actually every distance. She's not a good performer on sprint and mile races because of her unique skill. Her unique skill will proc sometimes way too early in the acceleration zone, and you will lose the very strong 0.45 effect upon entering the home stretch in mile and sprint races. Her main strategy or her main distance is just medium, and she can be ran as both Pace Chaser frontrunner, or the environment allows it, you can go late surger. However, this is not now. I think frontrunner is still stronger. Looking at her kit, she has left-handed. This is very strong because on Tokyo, any speed skill on Tokyo, any green skill on Tokyo is highly valuable. Left-handed is very difficult to get. Pace Chaser corners, strong skill. Race planner to compensate for the stamina drain on her unique skill. A soft step and Kalmatme. All of these skills kind of complement her as one of the strongest spurt Umas in the home stretch of Tokyo, and she kind of just throws velocity bombs as a pace chaser on Tokyo. She's one of the few characters that can play as pace chaser on Tokyo. Yeah, this is not a bad character per se. She also, I think, has Fast Lunar Event, which for some people, or at least early on right now, still isn't that impactful, but in the future, it's going to be quite valuable. Ardan's kit is decent. There's a lot of Ardan Oshis out there. I know her Ojo-sama and her personality. I know a lot of people like her. She actually looks very much like Asuna from Sword Art Online. Anyways, she's an Oshi pull. You just throw velocity bombs at the home stretch and hopefully not get caught up or overtake everybody in front of you and hold the position behind you. You have to beef up her mill game, and that's going to be the review for Mejiro Ardan. Moving on to Admire Vega. Vega is an end closer. This character is probably, aside from the stat bonuses, like one of the worst, if not the worst, end closers that they've ever made. Again, there's Gold Chip, right? And then there's Admire Vega. Storm Undrang, I don't know how to read this. Move up in preparation to close the gap when positioned toward the back late race. So this is a late race proc, and during the last spurt, target speed 0.35. This means like this, if you're at the back, and you are accelerating this procs on top of Excel Zone or something sometimes. This sucks. I don't know if this skill has been reworked yet. It might have been, it might have not been because I'm using JP, but either way, this skill is terrible. And Serenity is also, you have to be blocked. You have to be, if there's another girl right in front of you, at least 10 seconds into the race, and your stamina will recover. This is also a very bad gold recovery skill, which you're better off just bringing Maestro for the consistency. You don't want to be blocked for a skill to proc. Her unique skill is a 0.35 or 0.45, which requires you to be at least, I think, 5 links. And also, you have to be order rate. You have to be 7th, 8th, 9 on the home stretch. I forgot how bad this unique skill was. I remember Admire Vega as like one of the worst characters, but now I look back and holy shit, it's worse than I imagined. Remember, you have to be on 7th on the home stretch. Say we're on Tokyo Racecourse. If you're on 7th on the home stretch, that means you procced exactly 0 acceleration skills, because straightaway spurt doesn't work, and neither does Redshift proc because you have to be in 1st and 5th. Neither does Iron proc. Nothing procs for you. This unique skill is by far like one of the worst, if not the worst, unique skills that a character can have, and the only redeeming factor of this character is just 20% power bonus and 10% speed, which makes it so she can whale stats super easily. Otherwise, this character is cooked, man. This character is cooked. You just ignore the unique skill, pretend it doesn't exist. If you proc, you just lose. Oh my god, why is this character so bad? It is like not even going to go through the skill from events. This is just sad. This is just sad. Her secret events, if you win against these characters 8 times, Teien, Meisho, Narita, Top Road, you'll get Entosa straightaways and corners, I guess. Oh my god, without a unique skill, it's so difficult to play. This character, even 5 years into the game, this character has never gotten a rework on a unique skill, so there's that for you. Oshi Pull, her personality and story is very beautiful. Pull if you like her personality and not her kit, because you're not going to get anything out of her kit. Good luck to Admire Vega Oshi players. I know you guys are out there. That's going to be it for the Umas. We're now going to quickly skim over these few support cards before talking about Fine Motion and Valentine Bourbon. So, Sakura Bakshino SSR. Hi, this is a sprint card that gives a bunch of sprint skills, actually. There's Intimidate, Sprinting Gears, Sprint Corners, Sprint Straightaways. Everything that you ask for, she has. She gives Groundwork on her first event, so now we have 2 random Groundwork cards that you can randomly get Groundwork out of. She also gives, on second event, I think, end the event here, or you can go on her third event. This is a gamble. This is a gamble for the gold skill. In High Spirits is okay. This is like you're in the first half of the pack. During the second half of the middle leg, your speed will increase. 0.35 target speed for 2.4 seconds on 1st to 5th place. Buff to frontrunners and a potentially speed carryover. In sprint races, the acceleration is not consistent. So any speed carryover is going to be valuable. This is what this gold skill is about, which is, this is later half random. So as long as you're 1st to 5th place, there's a chance for you to just proc right before the late game and you will get speed carryover. This is a very comfortable support card. You will use, or you could use this card. I think you can rebuild your front aces on day for the finals with this card if you borrow it. It's a gut guts card though. It's a guts card. And the main use of this card, if I recall correctly, was the one sprint CM race, the last CM of MANT, and that's pretty much it. This is just a support card. You don't pull for it, it's not super valuable. Do remember that there's groundwork, and also this gives a bunch of sprint hints. You are going to remember this card 5 months later, but not now. She's not going to be used, nor is she super important. And also, yeah, she has 10% race bonus, or okay training effect, I guess. Nishino Flower SSR, I think this is, what's that called? This is Chocobon. So this card gives Determined Descent. Rush Hour Fine Motion is no longer the only holder of Straight Descent and Determined Descent. On tracks that this card can work, or tracks that Determined Descent will work, this card is valuable. Basically, say something like on Hanshin 2200 meters, this card is going to be used for, say, for example, Christmas Ogre. So yeah, Pace Chaser will use this card on tracks that are relevant. And if it's not, then we don't use this card. This is a skill card, really. This is a skill card for downhill tracks. That's all. And the skill hints is pretty much OG Nishino Flower skill hints. The support card events is whatever. There's a bunch of energy, I guess. And that's about it for Nishino Flower Wit. Agnes Power is here to get, well, left-handed and also a bunch of mild skills, late surger skills, and also forward march. Lead the charge / forward march, and also Umasan actually. Here, where's Umasan? Where's Umasan? And you have to click bottom for Umasan. This card, you could bring a power card for this XL. This is the same thing, or kind of like the updated version of bringing Furious Feet into a mile race for a late surger or end closer. The good thing about lead the charge and also forward march is that it procs from 1st to 9th place. So it works for everybody, really. You can use it as a front or as an end closer. It's a random XL. You kind of just use this as a parent instead of, you kind of just use this as a parent card, not an A-stack card. The unique effect requires you to have 5 different support cards, different types of support cards in your deck, which makes it very difficult to get the full value out of the support card on an A-stack. Nah, this card is just a parent farming card, lol. Good luck with this card. You don't use it. I don't remember using it. There's just use it for parent for CM10, I guess. That's it. Kawakami Princess, high, 10% race bonus, speed gain, power bonus also. Kind of playable, has 20 initial speed. If you somehow MLB this card, you could slam it. The skill is a TT skill. That's it. Bye. Usable. Not God. Not good. Now it's time to circle back to Fine Motion and Valentine Bourbon. If you have enough for a pity, which banner should you pull on? My opinion is that Fine Motion Rerun on this banner is really not good, and you should never really consider pulling on this rerun for Fine Motion. Her value is super high around, like, actually from the start of the game all the way to 2nd anniversary, and on 2nd anniversary onwards, you better make sure that you MLB Mejiro Ardan to replace Fine Motion from your main deck. If you already have 1 copy of Fine Motion in your account, I recommend dropping 30k, because with Pity plus Crystal plus Exchange Ticket 1 plus Exchange Ticket 2, possibly if you buy, that's 4 copies. No matter what, you'll be able to guarantee an MLB Fine Motion. And any pulls of Fine Motion that you get is an extra Exchange Ticket you save that can go towards, say, Super Creek or other support cards that you will need to MLB. Fine Motion's value is in how, even though she has a lower specialty priority, her single clicks is very powerful, and in MANT, you can quickly max your Wit stat in just a few clicks. If you're running SR cards, if you don't have 30k to MLB Fine Motion, you could get past MANT with SR Wit cards such as Agnes and Marvel Sunday. But I will still recommend anybody that has at least 1 copy of Fine Motion to just drop 30k on this banner. Again, it's a suggestion. I hope that the comment section would go easy on me on giving this suggestion. If you don't have a copy of Fine Motion, you can gamble for hitting 1 copy, and then if you have 2 crystals, or if you still have the exchange tickets saved up, you could just go 0 to MLB Fine Motion, still in 30k carats. That's going to be my suggestion on Fine Motion. Between Valentine Bourbon and Fine Motion, which one of the 2 will I prefer? It's a very difficult question to answer. If I were to pick, I would all in my Uma Gacha tickets, my red-pink tickets, onto Valentine Bourbon banner in hopes of hitting it, and I will save up 30k for Fine Motion if I already have 1 or even more copies of Fine Motion. Fine Motion is valuable because she is used in every deck, just like Kira-san. She's used in every single deck all the way until 2nd anniversary, And yeah, and also that's assuming that you MLB Ramonu, right? Without it, your wit clicks are going to be weaker. And Fine Motion, in terms of playing competitively in Umamusume, or just being competitive in general, I think by first anniversary, everybody should have her. And really, nobody should be considering the second Fine Motion rerun by 1.5 anniversary, because by that time, you're dropping into a banner that Fine Motion only has like 3 months of lifespan left. So that's not worth it. These two banners are, to me, the most difficult to pick from. Ideally, you just hit both. Back then, I remember I saved up 60 gacha tickets and I was just spamming away once the gacha refreshed on Valentine Bourbon banner. And I was lucky to hit Valentine Bourbon in a few 10 pulls with the Uma gacha tickets. I was just spamming single click, single pull, and then eventually I hit it. And as for Fine Motion, I was also on the ship where I only had 1 copy of Finemo, and I was able to MLB it with a little bit of more luck because I hit like 2 copies off of the 200 pulls. So that was my own experience. That's going to be my advice. Hit both. If you were to pick one, I would go Fine Motion more because it means that every run is going to be more fun, more comfortable. I'm going to hit bigger stat line and it's going to be better, right? I'm going to make stronger aces. And Valentine Bourbon, although she is like a very strong ace, yeah, wow, but I could also just play Christmas Ogre double debuffer to fight the meta if I'm a meta player, yeah? So it's not like not having Valentine Bourbon is the end of the world, but not having Fine Motion or a competitive account that is looking to be competitive is kind of the end of the world. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you have found this information and this video informative and helpful. This is Charles Victoria Frontier. 新年快樂，恭喜發財！祝大家新春快樂！Happy New Year, everybody! Happy Chinese New Year! I'll see you guys in the next one.